Growing up, I never really had what I would consider people that were disabled around me. I'm an only child. But after taking this class, I don't think disability studies is just for those who have disabled people in their life or come into contact with them frequently. Everyone is only temporarily able bodied, is what I've kind of come to learn. And it's not going to last forever. At one point or another, everyone is going to be disabled, whether it be disease, in a car accident, something like that. Originally, I was looking to focus my first shaped piece on disability and the elderly and Social Security. But as a photographer, I kind of became interested in something else, which is also near and dear to my heart, stock photography as well as commercial photography. The longer that I looked at stock images of what you would consider if you searched disability, the more apparent it became as to how kind of blatantly, for lack of a better word, disgusting some of the images seem to be. For example, what do pictures such as this, as an individual standing up in supposed triumph from a wheelchair in front of a beautiful sunset, do to further the validity of a disabled individual? It just seems disrespectful that searching disability or wheelchair in Shutterstock, which is the world's foremost supplier of stock photography in the world, produces images such as this, where a female is sitting in a wheelchair looking out, gazing longingly at a set of drawn curtains, as if the world can't bear to see her and her disability. It implies that the disabled themselves are shunned from society, and it also implies that they are not as much as worth as individuals who are able-bodied. In my next work, I focused on responding to an essay regarding the Epilepsy Foundation, but I became really interested with my background in photography and cinematography. I'm very interested in epilepsy and movies. While not all epileptics experience seizures from flashing strobe lights and television screens, I think it is important to note, and I was interested by, that a majority of epileptics that do experience these symptoms are children, and some of the worst movies in terms of those kind of situations with flashing lights present themselves in children movies and as well as TV shows geared towards children. I talk a lot about the Incredibles 2 movie, as well as I talk about the incident in Japan in the 90s where over 700 children were hospitalized due to flashing red and blue lights in a scene from the Pokemon show. After examining epilepsy from the television shows causing seizures in children, I kind of wanted to examine how some current television, or I guess Netflix, actually examines disability, which led me into my second shaped piece about the Netflix show Special. What actually really got me into the show Special was the unique camera angles. I thought it was interesting that the main character's disability, Ryan, or Ryan O'Connell, it's never hidden. It's up front the entire time, and I found that to be interesting and unique and a breath of fresh air. And I went on to analyze the whole show in my second shaped piece. In my last work, I went on to respond to an essay about inaccessibility for the disabled in the restaurant industry. As a previous McDonald's manager for over 3 years, I was very interested in not only in the restaurant industry inaccessibility for the disabled, but inaccessibility for the disabled in the fast food industry. I was also particularly interested in invisible disabilities such as depression or things that your employer may not necessarily see up front when they hire you, and just how toxic those fast food environments can be for people who really have no avenue of getting help or support from their coworkers. overall, I think disability studies is something that is very valuable here at Western, as well as campuses and communities across the world. I'm very interested in disability studies, which is something that I never knew before, and I'm really excited to take it further in my artistic work. I'm looking into doing some portraiture around substance abuse and disability, and I'm interested to see where everything goes.